So I hit my personal best, all-time best production week of 170,720 AP and final expense 100% over the phone. It's for my team's production. I've been trying to break 150K a week for the last 3 years since I started doing this, 3.5 years. And I can't say enough how proud I am of my team, how proud I am of the people that I'm with and the people that have brought me through this journey. But I'm going to tell you guys how I did this. I'm going to be giving away the sauce, the secrets here. So please subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications if you find value in this. Even if you're just an agent and you don't plan on building an agency, this is something that's really, really going to help you. So you're going to want to watch this content. It's not all about just recruiting. It's about accomplishing your goals and making it happen, because that's a pretty big milestone. I think 170K AP, next is 200,000. That's the next goal that we're going to hit. We're going to hit that pretty soon. How did I do this? Well, honestly, you got to learn how to sell insurance, of course, but you don't have to be a top producer. So if you do want to get into building, you don't have to be a top producer to do it. You just have to recruit people and train them, because you're going to get some people who come on board who are better than you. Like, think about coaches on a team, right? Like a team's coach isn't usually the best athlete, right? Like, there's plenty of players on the team who are better than the coach. And what I found too is some top producers, they just don't make good leaders all the time. And that's okay, right? Everybody's different. Maybe they don't even want to be. It's a lot of stress. So, but really where I got to here, and okay, I listen to people like Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort, Cody Askins, like people like that, and I write down my goals every day. And James Whitley, my business partner, he writes down his goals every single day. Grant does, I know that. Another business partner of mine, awesome guy. And we got, like, literally, this is me. This is the last 365 days of my goals. So this is 2022 right here, guys. My goals written down every day. Some of these have stuff written on the back too. And what I do, I write down my goals, and then I write down a to-do list. What am I going to do to accomplish those goals that day? And I've been doing this every day for like 3 years. I have stacks of notepads in this desk of that. And that's really what it comes down to. If you don't write down what you want to accomplish, you're not going to do it. So if you have a target on your mind for production, write it down. Please write it down every day. You have to develop systems to be successful. If you wanted to be successful in sales, you have to develop a system to be successful. So what do I mean by that? Well, you have to wake up at the same time every day. You have to do the same things every day. You have to have a routine. And it's not always like what you do, but it's what you stop doing. I had to stop doing a lot of things to accomplish these goals. But what I did to accomplish this production goal here is I coached a sales team myself first. So I recruited and trained agents to sell. And I was the one helping them make their sales, right? And I would jump on their calls and help them close their deals. Because there's a lot of people out there who say you have to sell while you're building a team. I don't think that's even possible for telesales. Not if you want a really big team. Because when you take that leap, and you got to look in this for your whoever's bringing you on too as a mentor and a leader. If someone has a telesales team and they're selling, they're not going to build a big team. It's just not. It's impossible, because when you're selling face to face, it's really easy to be in front of a client, and maybe it's not impossible, but it's going to take a lot longer. Because when you're selling face to face and you're in front of a client and you're like, hold on, let me call my manager or boss, whatever the heck you call your upline. Then you call them and you ask them a question. The client's going to sit there, and then they're probably going to go get you milk and cookies or whatever and water. But when you're on the phone, you don't have that luxury. Like, you can't just tell someone to hold on for 5 minutes while you figure out the answer. So you got to have someone available to jump on the phone. And we realized this. I realized this real quickly. So what I did is we started to develop a system where we help agents close their sales when they get halfway through, when they're starting. So what I did is I trained, and this is what you guys are going to want to do too. As you build your agency, you're going to have some people that stick out as leaders. So who sticks out as a leader? Number one, they do what they say they're going to do. So they have integrity. Yep, I'll be on the morning call. Are they on that call every day? If someone doesn't consistently show up to a call, they're not going to be a leader. They're probably not even going to make it anyways in sales anyway. But if someone doesn't show up consistently to the calls, they're not going to be a leader. If someone is like, yeah, I'm dialing all day today, and then they don't, they're probably not going to be a leader. So it's someone who's like has that integrity to do what they say they're going to do and follow through with it. And also someone who's emotionally stable, because a lot of people aren't. And that's okay, right? Most people have some issues going on that are really tough, and it can make it hard. A lot of people have depression and anxiety and fears and stuff like that. And hey, look, I used to be in that spot. So if one of you are there, like, I know what that's like, right? I was addicted to opiates for 6 years. I was a complete mess. I was an anxious, depressed, manic madman every day, stealing from people. Like, my life was complete chaos. So I know what it's like to be down in the dumps, depressed, have a low credit score, all that stuff. okay, bankrupt. When you're in that emotional state, it's impossible to lead other people because you have to be a leader for yourself before you can lead other people. So I found these people that displayed these good leadership traits, and then I invested in them. And I said, look, instead of me just recruiting for me and my team as my direct people, my direct downlines, I'm going to put them under you and you're under me. So what I did is I lowered my spread. Obviously, I lowered my override percentage by giving that to one of my future leaders and the people that I'm developing to leaders now. Now, what did that do? That was a tough part for me because what happened is I was stuck at around like 60 to 70,000 AP a week. Maybe we'd hit like around 100, but it was just me handling everything. And there's economies of scale. So what I mean by that is like you're going to max out at a certain production that you can maintain as a team with just you as the main leader. To add to your production, you add salespeople. To multiply your production, you add leaders. So what happens, there's a gap, right? It's like when you go from selling to building, there's a gap where you don't make much money, right? If you're selling and then you have to take time away from selling so you don't have that immediate income flow, and then you're recruiting and training agents to develop them. And it's development. It's like if you have a baby and you expect them to talk and walk on day 2, it's not going to happen. So you have to train and develop these people. So the investment takes longer to come in, but instead of like one big wave, right? Like you get when you're selling, it's like a million tiny little waves that end up coming in, and it ends up making more than that one big wave. But it's an economy of scale. So say once you max out and then you hire that other leader, your income's going to drop per person a little bit, right? So you may be in the red when it comes to investing in your growth, right, at that point, but then you're going to recoup it later on down the road as they have that team that's sustaining that production of 50, 60, 70,000 AP a week. And then at that point, it's just duplicating that process. It's multiplying that process and multiplying it. So right now I have Zach Galloway, awesome guy. Love Zach. Zach is the most reliable person I've ever met in my life. That dude shows up every single day in the office here with me at 7:30. Never complained. I don't think I've ever heard Zach complain once. Never complains. Works Saturdays. He's always there for his team. Awesome dude. Same with Josh Cribb. Same with Mika. I mean, I have Joshua Cribb and Mika McKinney. Joshua Cribb is one of my agents. Came in. He's an awesome guy. And Mika's a veteran here at Senior Life Services. She's been here longer than me, and now I'm helping her develop into a leader and help her grow a team. So if you guys want to scale to the point where you're selling a lot, like I'm talking big numbers like 150, 200,000 a week, which to a lot of people that's not really a huge number, but to me it is. And to get to that point, you have to multiply yourself, okay? Now, you can't have your agent selling 10 different companies either. So this is something that I learned the hard way too when I started, because I was like, okay, I want to have like my agents give everyone an immediate coverage day one benefit, what if they can qualify for it. Then what I realized is that I'm getting all these people day one benefits and they still cancel, right? Sometimes. So I'm like, you know what? I am not going to take that risk of going out of business just to like help this person get a policy that they might cancel anyway. Now, I want to, some of you may disagree with this, but I'm telling you, you did not get into insurance to do things for free, okay? This is a business. It's not a bad thing to make money off people. And you gotta understand that. It's okay to make a profit. You need to. It feels good. Because I promise, those same people who are like, oh, give me the best deal, man. I promise you, they would charge the crap out of you. They wouldn't give you the best deal. So don't worry about that. So write a couple companies. If you have to go someone modified or return a premium or a graded benefit, and like another company you never write gives them an immediate level benefit, dude, just go with the graded or return a premium modified benefit. Like with those companies, keep it in-house with those companies. It helps chargebacks and it makes training way, way easier. Okay. Also, if you're building a telesales team, you got to have everybody at the same location dialing, whether you use Discord or Zoom. We use Zoom with breakout rooms. So you can have a Zoom room and then you can divide it into a bunch of other little rooms. They're called breakout rooms, where people can come and go as they please and join. Now, I'm accountable, though. I keep accountable. Okay, so what we do in those rooms, we put people into rooms so they can listen to other people dial. Also, we have a big room. We have a few big rooms with 20 to 30 people in them, and they all have their cameras on, and hopefully, most of them don't have their cameras on, but I encourage it, and they're dialing. Their audio is disconnected, but they're all there, like together virtually. It creates a team environment. So you have to have a team environment, and then there's separate breakout rooms that the leaders or closers and people helping people will push newer agents to help train them and help them close their sales. So another thing that's huge is you need to hold people accountable, right? I don't care if it's 1099. If I'm 110% in everything that I do, I have no time for part-timers and slackers. That's just me. And if you're a part-timer watching this, that's cool. You're never going to make a lot of money in insurance doing part-time, but I'm sure you know that, right? I'm just saying on my team, people I work with, I need 110% out of people, or at least not 110%. I need 110% out of me. All I need is like 70% out of people. I really strongly encourage people to put a full-time effort in. And I ask them before they join. You know, if you want to grow fast, my recommendation would be to get those commitments up front with people. Say, hey, I'm looking, it's 1099. I can't tell you when you can work, but I'm only looking to work with people who can do a 40 to 60 hour commitment every week. Is that something you could be compatible with me on? Because if you can't do that, we're just not going to be compatible. You're going to hate me. And if they say no, just refer them elsewhere. Don't be like, oh, yeah. Just like say, okay, you know what? I know a great company there that is geared for people like you. I'm going to refer you to this company, and I'll refer people to other companies and other agencies. And then once you have that upfront commitment, what you do is you hold people accountable to that. So like say they don't show up to the morning meeting. Well, I'll literally go through my entire roster and I will tag every single person that's not on our 8 a.m. Zoom call in the public chat and be like, yo, where you at? You told me you could be here at 8 every day, right? And it's not really me having them show up for me. I want people to show up for them. I want people to show up for their family. I want people to show up for their kids. I want people to show up for their own success. Their success requires them to show up. I don't require them to show up. I just encourage them to do it. Their success requires them to show up. So you need to be accountable to people like that. And you know what? You may think you're being a jerk. You may think you're being a micromanager. But what I've learned over the last 3 years is that if I'm micromanaging people, but they're making $1,000 to $3,000 a week, cool, call me a jerk all you want. But if I'm lenient and I'm not doing that and you're making $500 a week or less, who would you rather want? Someone who's going to push you to make money or someone who's not going to push you, okay? Now, there's plenty of people who just show up. But I'm saying if you're getting into leadership, you have to hold people accountable to these commitments that they give you, because a lot of times when people are working from home, the hardest thing about working from home is working from home, and you got to be on their backs about it. You got to be like, yo, where you at? Where you at? Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then once people develop that muscle and build that rhythm, then they'll do it. And look, if people get upset and they quit, whatever. They weren't meant to work with you anyway, okay? Another thing is, quote, high premiums. So it's like a myth in final expense that all these clients are broke. Like, I don't believe it. We've been doing some things recently and calculating out some stuff. People, there are plenty of final expense clients who can afford high premium policies. We have so many policies that are over $200, $300, $400 a month for final expense that have been on the books for several years. I've found that actually the policies with the lowest percentage of staying are actually less than $50 a month. So go ahead, quote your clients high. It's going to help your premium. It's going to help you make more money. Yeah, you may be like, oh, I'm scared of the chargeback. But look, what would you rather do? Would you rather have them make 4 payments of $400 or 4 payments of $40, right? Like, you're still getting paid that commission. So yeah, you're going to get a charge. You may get a chargeback, but you may get a chargeback either way, right? You're going to get chargebacks no matter what. So why not make the most of them? I mean, hey, and that's the way I looked at it. I'm like, yo, okay, a certain percentage of my clients are going to cancel. So I would rather be averaging $120, $150 a month premiums than in having 30% cancel, then have $60 to $80 a month premium average and have 30% cancel. Because I'm going to make more money either way. The chargeback may be bigger, but the profit's bigger. So always quote high. Also, encourage your people to work weekends. If you have people who didn't hit their goals and didn't hit their targets, get on about working weekends. And you work the weekend too. Like right now, it's Saturday. I'm here. I'm on Zoom with my team right now. All right, I'm looking at the leaderboard here. We got some people. We got sales up. Billy P, Crystal, Pat Powers, Melanie Stevens, Terrence Phillips, they all got sales. Well, a couple of them aren't on my team, but we got people pushing for sales on Saturday, and they're going to get used to it, because if you want to be successful in this business, you got to work Saturdays. I mean, there's some people who don't. There are some people who don't and are very, very good, very talented salespeople. But if you're not that good, you got to hustle and you got to work Saturdays. Okay. Break the idea that weekends are the day off for a few years. Okay. I can't remember the last time I took a lunch break. Literally, I don't take lunch breaks. I eat at my desk. And the last time that I took a Saturday off and did nothing work related. Like, it's impossible. I can't do it because I just know how profitable it is. Okay. So encourage your people to do that. And if you're going to be a leader and you're not going to work those a weekend day, you can still be successful, but you're not going to get successful as fast. And this is why. It's not you. Okay. It's not you. It's It's the people that work with you. Because what happens is if you have new agents that are brand new and they take Saturday and Sunday off, what happens is they come back Monday and they're mega rusty, crazy rusty. So I learned that if I can encourage all the new people at least to just make a few calls or get on in shadow or do some work on Saturdays, it makes their start way faster. That leads me to the next thing here is having a morning meeting with my team. This has really, really, really helped us. This is how it goes. So we have like a big meeting, and then smaller meeting, and then smaller meetings. And it kind of just goes down. And we try to provide value with each meeting. I encourage people to have their cameras on, taking notes. And I see, someone just sitting there like texting, blank stare, then I know that they're not going to they're not going to really retain the knowledge. And I see it. I have people all the time. I'll cover something in training. They're on their phone. They think I don't notice because there's 50 people in the room. And then they're asking me that same question like 2 days later, something I covered. And I just say, hey, go look it up. I know you weren't paying attention in training. Call people out too. Okay, call people out. If someone's not paying attention in training, you're only hurting them and you if they're not paying attention. So, hey, can you give me your full attention, please? Thank you. We're adults, right? If you're over 25 years old and you're texting during a training, like grow up, right? Seriously. And then, so have a morning meeting with your team every day. Keep it positive. So you want to keep it positive and upbeat and always value driven. Have agents share the success stories from the day before. Have people share tips and encourage people to ask questions. If you have any sort of disciplinary things that you want to do, you want to address that with people one-on-one. So what I'll do, if people aren't working enough, I'll put them in a text with me and their coach or their leader, we call them coaches, and I'll send them a voice message and say, hey, what's going on, man? This is Justin. Obviously, well, I don't have to say that, but hey, what's going on, man? Look, I noticed that this week you only had like 200 calls. And, we encourage 120 to 150 people called every day, and you only called 200 this week. So I know when you started, you gave me a full-time commitment. I can't tell you when to work for sure, right? You're 1099, but that's the commitment I was looking for. So, and that you gave to me and that you promised me that you could hit. So just help me understand the gap there, because I want you to be successful. This isn't for me to like come down on you all harsh and everything. This is me coming down on you because like I want you to accomplish your goals, and I care about you. And I want you to be successful for you and your family. So help me understand the gaps there that are preventing you from doing what you said you'd do. And then that's what it makes it easy. That's why I get the commitment at the beginning, because then if they don't do it, it's like, yo, you told me to do this, dude. What's good? And then some people are like, oh, I can't do it. And this is the thing too, right? So I notice you get a lot of people for these like telesales work from home positions who want to work from home simply because they can't manage going to an office every day. They can't. Right? Like, I get some people, I know it's almost, and I hate saying this, but it's almost career suicide. If you get a new agent on a Zoom call and they got like their 2-month-old and like no one's at home with them helping them, they have no support with the kid. It's like, you could do it, but like, man, that's going to be really, 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 really tough. Right? So we get a lot of people in those situations who go to work from home. It's not that they don't feel like going to an office. Whatever the circumstances are in their life literally prevents them from doing it. Having that accountability and those checks up front are huge. And then lastly, what's helped me scale to this is hitting 170K in a week is making sure that my people are making money, because this helps with your agent retention. Okay. It's not how much their sales are on the board. It's how much money are they making every week. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring how much money your agents are making in their paychecks, in their commissions. Have them make a commission sheet that they get paid on, with. Fortunately, here at our agency, we track all that stuff internally, and I get a report every week saying how much every single one of my agents made that week. And I'll reach out to people who made good checks, and I'm like, yo, good stuff. And I reach out to people who didn't make good checks, and I'm like, look, I know you didn't make what you want to make and what you're planning on making, so this is what we got to do to make that happen. And when you start having people make more money, you're going to have higher retention. Because if everyone that you sign on is making more than $1,000 a week, no one's going to quit. Like, especially starting out, like no one's going to quit. And if someone gets into this business because they're like, oh yeah, I was told I can make like $5,000 a week starting, they lied to you, bro. Like, you're getting advances. And when I'm talking about our agents making that much, that's net. That money can't be charged back. So like, you got to factor chargebacks versus how much they made. All right. So like the net deposits, and then lead costs too, like factor lead costs in. So if they made $1,000, but they spent 800 on leads, they didn't make anything. They didn't make any money. But if they spent 800 on leads, they made 3,000, right? And be like, okay, cool. So you made 2,200 profit. Awesome. What I want you to do, I want you to take 800 of that, put it in an account for taxes and chargebacks. Okay. I would have people put a third. We handle all that for our agents internally through our own separate accounting systems, but I would recommend all you guys to do that, because you chargebacks are going to crush people. Make sure that you help them with their finances and help them make money. If you can put money in people's pockets, they're going to put money in your pocket in return. So that's really that. I'm super excited. That's without like really deep diving into all the systems and intricacies and everything, but that's a broad overview. So guys, write down your goals every day. Get committed. Hold people accountable. Recruit a lot of people. You have to recruit in excess. Like, recruit way more people than you think you need to. If you have any questions, reach out to me, jve@thejve.com. I hope you found value in this. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications. Love you all. Thank you.